Round 4 of the Daytona DMAX Championships for 2018 brings us to Glenagores for the first time in DMAX history. Our Inters Enduros have just completed their qualifying, and what a qualifying it was. Very, very close out there. DJ, over to you to talk to some of the drivers.
Yeah, so first of all, we've got James Perry. So, James, first of all, cracking suit. Nice branding there, nice colours. So it's your first time here at Glenagore. How are you finding the circuit, firstly?
The circuit's great. I mean, it's really fast. I mean, you're probably full throttle for sort of 60–70% of a lap. And yeah, I mean, the sort of technical bit at the end is pretty tricky and pretty key, I think, to a good lap time. But yeah, no, I love it. It's really good.
Excellent stuff. Best qualifying this year, 6th place. Happy with that?
Yeah, really happy with it. I mean, I've sort of been struggling to find the form I had last year in the opening rounds this year. So it's good to be back on, up where I sort of was last year. So yeah, pretty pleased with that.
Excellent. And then how are we feeling for the race? I mean, we're quite close to the front. Are we feeling confident we're going to get up there?
Yeah, I mean, I think the guys right at the front a little bit quicker, but I think it should be a good battle for sort of 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and there's some good guys, really quick guys behind me as well. So yeah, it's going to be close, I think.
Excellent, lovely. Thank you very much.
Moving on to Andy Spencer, who's qualified P5. I'm liking the sunglasses, mate, but why have you got them on?
You want to really see? Here we go.
Right up there. Don't worry, I'm not going to do a Murray Walker on Nigel Mansell, but poor Andy's got a bite on your eye. But you've got 5th on the grid, so really it's making you faster, isn't it?
Well, I don't know. It was. I was a bit worried all that session. I've not done any testing here, and there was a couple of yellow flags out. There's yellow flags at the start. I didn't think there was going to be many minutes to do a good lap, and then managed to get one in right at the end, last lap, I think it was. I was 10th before that. So, yeah, pleased with 5th. Don't know if we can go to the top boys. I know the top 2 are really quick, but we'll try. I mean, it's going to be a bit of a try and stay in the draft and bit of bump drafting and push each other along, I think, but the top 2 are going to be hard to catch.
We saw you do some cracking moves at Rye House last time out. First time to this track, have you had a little watch of the racing so far today? Where do you think it's going to be a good place to get some moves done?
Well, I don't think it's the easy, even though it's a real quick track, I don't think it's the easiest track to pass people on. There's one big braking zone up at the top at turn 2 or 3 or whatever it is, big long sweeper. But if someone goes defensive there, it's difficult. I think you're looking at mistakes, really. And to be honest, the top 4 or 5 guys would be foolish to fight early on anyway. I think the moves are going to come later in the race, maybe with a bit of traffic, because if you fight, you only lose time on the leaders. And we've got to try and just work together and stay with the top guys.
Excellent. Have a good one. Best of luck, mate. Hope we see you again later on.
Excellent. And then finally, we've got pole position Joe Ellis here. So, Joe, 49.160, incredibly close at the front there. How are we feeling?
Yeah, no, it's a good lap. I'm just hoping the pole's quite a good run. You can keep the inside for quite a while, so hoping I can just keep the inside and pull away a bit at the start. And
did you watch the lights race at the start of that one?
No, I didn't see it, no.
Oh, you weren't there? Oh, it was very good at the front. So hopefully you replicate that. It is quite close at the front. You got to watch out for the people going down the inside round into Spoon Corner. But no, so it's your 3rd time here, is it? So you're quite confident with the circuit, yeah?
Yeah, no, it's quite a twisty track. So you see lines that you wouldn't normally take, lines that you don't expect. So there's quite a lot of time to be gained if you can find the right line.
Excellent. Well, cracking time, and best of luck in the race. Thank you. Well, top 3 drivers there, incredibly close. 2 tenths per second between the lot of them.
It's close throughout the whole field. I think I heard Jim say earlier that the second between first and wherever the second is 18th place. The top 18's covered by a second. This has been the closest class in both the Enduros and the Heat so far this year. They've shown it again in qualifying. I'm really excited for what we're about to see in this next hour.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
round 4 of the Inter Enduro for Daytona DMAX 2018. Let's do this.
So here we are for the grid for round 4 of the Daytona DMAX Championships here at Glenagore. On pole position is Joe Ellis, 2nd place is Jordan Taylor, 3rd is Owen Genman with 4th place Chris Alcock, 5th place Andy Spencer, 6th place is James Perry, 7th place Bobby Trundley and 8th place Mike Coppin. 9th place Richard Lacey with Ross Blackwood rounding out the top 10. 11th place Seb Cook, in 12th place just behind is James Cook, 13th is Anthony Kirk, 14th Joshua Kraft, 15th place Simon Ross, 16th place is Sam Bennett, 17th place Dean Walker, 18th place Tom Wantook, in 19th Tim Ellis, 20th Leo Stolyarov, in 21st Chris Kirk, 22nd, Andy Stopart. 23rd is Lee Kerry. 24th place, Chris Hackworth, with a lot of work to do from there. And 25th, Gus Silveira. 26th place is Ryan Welch. 27th, John Donnelly. 28th place is James Browning. 29th is Stuart Shearman. And rounding out the grid for round 4 in 30th place is Paul Mason.
Here we go, into turn 1, drivers side by side, and it's a cracking start by Joe Ellis. He's still got that first place as they scream up towards the shoe section of the circuit. Still very close, and it looks like they all get through. No moves there. Looks like a move, a bit of contact back further down the grid. Not sure who that was at the moment, but still very close. And there's 5 abreast down into the carousel there. Really closing up, and there's contact. I don't know if there was a bit of contact there with one of the drivers spinning, but still unclear of who it was. But Joe Ellis still leading the way.
Relatively clean start. I mean, there's always going to be a bit of bumping and barging in such a big field, but very good start for the Inters.
Incredibly good start. So nice to see as they start to come across the line now. Quite a lot abusing that curb on the final corner. You don't want to do that too often, especially this early. But all the grid side by side. Little move loader back, but still no places gained. So staying in one long train here.
But just going back for a sec, you don't want to make any silly mistakes. This is going to be a very fast-paced race, and if you have an incident and fall back,
and there's
you're
a
not gonna
spinner.
make it
There's
back.
a spinner at the exit of compression. That's the one, and it's straight to the back of the grid. I'm not sure who that was. We'll sure find out.
Well, we'll see as they start to fall on timing, but it is still Ellis from Taylor, Gendon in 3rd, Bobby Trundley is now trying to catch Andy Spencer in 4th, so that's 4th and 5th. 6th place is now Mike Coppin, and in fact it's Chris Alcock. Oh my goodness me, Chris Alcock, one of our championship contenders. Just as I was saying, none of the big guys want to have an incident early on. Chris Alcock is our spinner and has fallen down to the back of the field. Mike Coppin still fighting with Bobby Trundley. Coppin gets all over the curb. Trundley's right on his rear bumper. Is Trundley going to have a challenge up the Dragon Straight? I think Trundley is actually quite happy just to sit there and push Mike Coppin along now, working together. Two of the most experienced drivers in this class, because they want to challenge Andy Spencer for 4th.
So just keeping an eye on Chris Alcock. He's trying to fight his way back through the field. He's just behind Stuart Shearman as they go into the spoon section of the track. So Chris Alcock really working on trying to get those positions back up, but back up into 26th place already.
Up alongside Lacey as well. They're still side by side going into the compression corner. Kraft tries a bit of a switchback but doesn't work. That's good news for Anthony Kirk though, because it's meant he's got a bit of breathing space between himself and those two, and I think they've swapped positions. Yes, we'll check it on timing as they come across, but I'm pretty sure Joshua Kraft has made the move stick. In fact, no, I'm wrong. It's still Lacey ahead of Kraft.
Yeah, the gap between Jordan Taylor and Joe Ellis on that last lap was nearly 0.4 of a second. Let's see what it is when they cross the line now. It looks like it's going to be a lot less than that.
Absolutely. Joe Ellis starts lap 12 in the lead, as he has been since he started this race. The gap, just update me, and look, oh, there's a battle still raging on between Coppin and Trundley. There's a bit of a gap ahead to Spencer now as well, so I reckon Trundley's going to try and go for this. Try and get past Mike Coppin into the hard braking zone at the top of the hill. No doing there.
The gap between those two drivers, less than 0.2 of a second between Bobby Trundley and Mike Coppin, so really close between those two.
Absolutely. Meanwhile, DJ, how's Chris Alcock getting on? Because I suspect he's coming back through the field now.
Update on Chris Alcock. He's currently running in 20th place, so he's in between Chris Kirk and Dean Walker at the moment. So 20th place for Chris Alcock, so 6 more positions than the last saw him.
Good progress by him. Leaders come through turn 1 again. Oh, very wide goes Jordan Taylor on the exit of 1. He wants to be careful with that. As we've mentioned already this morning, there is a sizable dip that it's very, very easy to pop the rear left wheel into if you run a little bit wide. You do that, you're risking things like stub axles and chains and all the rest of it as you put a massive shock load through the kart. Don't want to be doing that too much in this race. Trundley's through. Trundley is past Mike Coppin. He's finally made the move. He's done it through Devil's Elbow. And, well, now, let's see if Trundley can crack on. But look at Anthony Kirk. Anthony Kirk in the red, all over the back of Mike Coppin as they go up to Spoon Corner.
Excellent racing by these drivers. Mike Coppin goes slightly wide.
And straight away, Bobby Trundley is breaking away from Mike Coppin now. And the battle for the lead's going on. And Taylor's having a look, half a look at Ellis. Through Devil's Elbow. Ellis did very well there to be aware of where Jordan Taylor was. Lesser drivers would have made contact at that stage, but Joe Ellis still leads, but under huge pressure now from Jordan Taylor. Owen Jedman's still there in third. Andy Spencer looking like he's got good pace in fourth place. All of those drivers, in fact the top 5, all now in the 49.4s. Meanwhile, the other battle involving a driver with a red suit is really, really hotting up now, and it looks like Anthony Kirk is through. Yes, he's made it through past Mike Coppin in Spoon. A great move by Anthony Kirk. Could Anthony Kirk come into the play here, as he's got a lot of pace at this stage of the race, one of the quickest drivers out on circuit?
Another update for Chris Alcock, up into 15th place now, so another 5 positions.
Bobby Trundley's closed right onto the rear bumper of Andy Spencer. Andy struggling with that swollen eye, but he's doing a remarkable job at the moment fending off the championship leader.
Anthony Kirk also still gaining on Bobby Trundley. 2/10 faster he took out of him on that lap.
And he's going up the inside into, my goodness me, Bobby Trundley, I tip my hat to you. That was a fantastic move through Carousel. It's a really, really brave corner to have a go, because the entry to it is so fast, and he just slung it up the inside and took 4th place. That is one of the moves of the season. And this, I've got to say, at this stage of the race, this will be the worry for Jordan Taylor, is that if they keep battling, they're going to allow Owen Jedman and Bobby Trundley back into this battle. And Trundley's through. Trundley's through and into 3rd place. Bobby Trundley now 3rd, with Owen Jedman 4th, who's now being challenged by Andy Spencer. And Andy Spencer looks like he's got through as well. And Anthony Kirk's there. Oh my goodness me. This is bad news for Owen Jedman. He's lost another position. Anthony Kirk's gone through as well.
Race leaders as well, yeah, just crossing the line. Gap's still there, 0.3 of a second, but back markers ahead.
Yeah, back markers starting to hold up Bobby Trundley now. So this is good for the 2 leaders, and also good for Spencer and Kirk. Might just offer an opportunity for them to close back in. And look, alongside goes Anthony Kirk. Up the Dragon Straight, he's alongside Andy Spencer, he's got him. He's through. Well, Anthony Kirk sweeps through and into 4th place. This is good stuff from the leaders there, working together again now. They're just bridging that gap to themselves and Bobby Trundley. Yellow flag out, or briefly was out, up the Dragon Straight. It's gone in now. Oh, contact! Oh, and who's that off? Down at Devil's Elbow. Now, hang on a minute. Who was
I think that was the leader.
Bobby Trundley?
That was the leader. I think that was Joe Ellis.
Yes, Joe Ellis is not there anymore.
Joe Ellis.
And Joe Ellis is off. Now, I thought it was a back marker, and I thought he was involved with Bobby Trundley, so I don't know whether there were a couple of things that happened there, but my goodness me, drama. Joe Ellis is now down to 5th place, and Jordan Taylor is through, Bobby Trundley is through, Anthony Kirk and Andy Spencer go through there as well.
Well, I can see a black flag getting prepared, and I think it's just been waved. I'm not sure who that was for.
Well, Bobby Trundley is now closing in on Jordan Taylor. The gap is down to 1.8 seconds. Now, my gut tells me it's going to be one of these lead pair that if you're seeing a black flag being prepared, DJ, that it's going to be for one of these 2. We'll just have to wait and see who it is for.
I'm not quite sure. I've kind of missed all of that. So the gap still very close between these 2 drivers.
Bobby Trundley is closing in the gap, hand over fist. Now let's have a look at the command. The lead is Taylor. Taylor's in. Taylor is in the pits, and Bobby Trundley goes to the lead.
So Jordan Taylor received the black flag. So it was Jordan Taylor. I didn't think it would have been Jordan. I thought it was a back marker that hit him. So Jordan Taylor receiving the black flag. He must be absolutely devastated.
And well, the shoulders go down. That's a disappointed driver there. who, well, might rue that come the end of the season.
So from that, Bobby Trundley has been gifted this lead. So Bobby Trundley leading the way comfortably with a 2.4 second gap.
Absolutely. Anthony Kirk up to second place, and Andy Spencer, swollen eye and everything, is up to third.
Bobby Trundley's got a bit of traffic in front of him, so he's got to try get through there and round the most technical part of the circuit. So really going to struggle to get through as they cross the line now. Bobby Trundley crosses the line, still behind the back marker. Anthony Kirk's gap, 1.3 seconds, as Bobby is still trying to find a way past this back marker.
Yeah, and the back marker has had the blue flag, and he's now got out of the way. But I agree with you, DJ. Anthony Kirk is really closing in. You can see it visually as they go around the course. We've got just over 20 minutes of this race to go.
Andy Spencer currently running in third place, 4 seconds behind Anthony Kirk. So 5.2 seconds behind Bobby Trundley. Joe Ellis up into fourth again after his spin, who's got another 3.1
Problem for
seconds.
Gus Silviera. Problem for Gus Silviera. He's just pulled off after turn one. It's not been a good day for him at all. Here come the leaders. Across start finish once again. The gap is still 1.3 seconds. Oh, contact behind them though.
And it's Jordan Taylor again, I think, with the contact. Yeah. So Jordan really trying to fight through. He's down in 20th place currently.
Bobby Trundley though also sensing, and Kirk is now through, and he's really closing the gap now because Bobby Trundley has not been able to get past two of the back markers. We've got a battle for the lead here.
3/10 of a second. 3/10 of a second between these two. They are on each other now. So this is the battle for first, and it is hotting up.
Back markers not realising second place was there as well, but he's right on him now. Anthony Kirk is all over the rear bumper of Bobby Trundley as they come down into the carousel. Trundley goes defensive, goes back onto the racing line. Round carousel. This is fantastic stuff from the Inter's championship leader, Bobby Trundley. Doesn't necessarily need to win this race. All of his championship rivals are down the road, but Anthony Kirk wants this. He had a really good run at Rye House. He's having an even better run here at GYG. The race is on for the win.
Also, we've got a fairly close race between 6th and 5th place. Owen Jenman and Mike Coppin, so half a second between those two. So really need to keep an eye on that battle because that is also hotting up.
Just been corrected in my ear. It would be Andy Spencer's first.
Oh, there's
podium.
some debris on these straights just outside of turn one. Drivers having to avoid. I'm not sure if the marshal's seen it. I'm not quite sure what it is.
Just been corrected. Andy Spencer would be his first podium since Tamworth last season.
So yellow flags at turn one.
Yep, for that debris recovery. So the leaders still going on ahead. Trundley ahead of Anthony Kirk. They've got clear of a bit more traffic now.
So yellow's flags still out. The gap, 6/10 of a second for the lead as they slow down. So yellow's clear and the racing is back underway, so Anthony Kirk can concentrate on trying to reel in Bobby Trundley again. Anthony Kirk is now right on the back of Bobby Trundley again, purely because of these back markers. Blue flags are waved.
Yeah, it's the 10 and 49 who are battling over 13th position.
So it seems that Anthony Kirk has lost his rhythm again of lap times because he was flying earlier and he's really struggling to get past that back marker. That back marker unaware that second place is behind him.
Yeah, Seb Cook chopped right across the front of Anthony Kirk. That won't have been comfortable for Anthony Kirk at all. And this is costing Anthony Kirk because Bobby Trundley is running away. This is the best bit of news that Bobby Trundley's had for probably the last 15 laps or so, because now he's started to bridge a gap, and still Seb Cook not really doing a good job of getting out of the way, and it's cost him a position. In fact, it's cost him the position to Joshua Kraft. Battle going on between Mike Coppin and Owen Jenman going up the Dragon Straight now. This is Jenman trying to get past Mike Coppin. Mike Coppin going very defensive, goes defensive again up into Spoon Corner. This is all over 5th place at the moment. Jenman trying to get a good run through turn one, right on the rear bumper, inches between himself and Mike Coppin. Mike Coppin goes defensive again. It's going to need Owen Jenman to go round the outside, I reckon, which is easier said than done. Oh, it's a little bump draft up the hill, which helps Mike, but doesn't help Owen at all. He actually loses a kart length.
So it looks like Bobby Trundley and Anthony Kirk have both got past those back markers fairly quick. Anthony Kirk is all over the back of Bobby Trundley now as they come into this close section. He's right on his tail as they come into compression corner. Doesn't look like he's going to go for a move this time round. We'll have to see on the next lap. The gap now very, very close between these front two. I believe Anthony Kirk can smell a victory here with just over 5 minutes remaining.
I think that's a 24. Oh, side by side, and that's going to cost Coppin. The back marker didn't really get out of the way. Owen Jenman's now going to have a run. Can he go round the outside? Coppin's gone very defensive. Jenman's going to try and go round the outside through the spoon. That would be an audacious manoeuvre. But Mike Coppin's able to defend it. Now, can he defend it still down into the carousel? Yes, he can. Well, that was a scary moment for Mike Coppin.
Bobby's looking behind him. Anthony's going for the inside. He doesn't quite do it. He stays behind as they now come into the compression corner out of the carousel. Oh, and it just looks he wanted to go for a move there. He stayed behind. There's a bit of a gap. He braked a little bit early there. So he's opened the gap up slightly into this final twisty section with only 4 minutes remaining, or 3 minutes remaining as they when they cross the line. So the last couple of laps now, Anthony Kirk has got to do it on these few laps. The gap is still 0.3 of a second as they cross the line this time.
Now here's a question for you, DJ. Anthony Kirk not fully in the championship battle at the moment. Bobby Trundley is. It's going to need a big, big move from Anthony Kirk to take this win, but could he almost play that into Bobby Trundley's mind as Bobby Trundley goes defensive again into carousel? Because Bobby Trundley can't afford to get taken out by Anthony Kirk going for a banzai move up the inside. As, oh, just half a look again from Anthony Kirk. If you're Anthony Kirk, do you just go for the big move knowing that Bobby Trundley needs the points?
Well, if it was me, I probably would, because it's racing. I just want that pole. I want that victory. So the points, he'll gain the points. It'll close it. We're still early in the championship. We're only 4 rounds in, so there is every possibility. But that gap again slightly increasing. It's nearly 4/10 now this time. So we're just waiting to see what Anthony Kirk can pull out. He's just buying his time. But we're on the final 2 minutes now. But still got a couple of laps. There's someone very wide at the exit of Club Corner.
I think that might have been Chris Alcock, actually, who's actually, we've not mentioned him for a while. He's recovered all the way up to 8th place, so a great drive from Chris Alcock. And,
Owen Jenman's got in front of Mike Coppin.
Jenman is through. We've missed it whilst we're talking to the leaders, but Owen Jenman has finally got past Mike Coppin.
Anthony Kirk right on the bumper of Bobby Trundley as they come into the Devil's Elbow. It looks like Anthony Kirk slightly outbraked himself there out of compression corner, and that gap has now increased. It was right on the back of Bobby Trundley, and I think he had to take avoiding action not to hit him.
Less than 40 seconds to go. Leaders are on to the last lap. Bobby Trundley goes up the Dragon Straight for the last time, checking over his left shoulder, seeing where Anthony Kirk is. It's going to need a big, big effort from Anthony Kirk to wrestle this lead away from Bobby Trundley on the last lap. They're coming down the hill now into the carousel. There's a back marker probably about 20 metres, 30 metres ahead of them, but not much more than that. Into compression corner for the last time. Bobby Trundley's just got to keep it clean through Devil's Elbow, through the FS's, and he's going to take one of the hardest victories he's had in a while. Through the S as he comes, rounds Devil's Elbow into paddock corner. What a victory, what a drive. Bobby Trundley wins round 4 of the Daytona DMAX into Enduro, and for me, DJ, that is one of his best wins in a while.
He really had to work for that one. He was gifted a bit earlier on in the day when the other two got, well, one driver got black flag, I think was Jordan Taylor. Jordan Taylor with the black flag, and obviously James Ellis going off. But Bobby Trundley, what a win, what a win, well deserved.
What a drive from Anthony Kirk as well. He pushed Trundley all the way, inch for inch. What a drive from him. Andy Spencer takes his first podium in DMAX since Tamworth last year with a swollen eye. For me, one of the drives of the weekend so far. Joe Ellis will be a bit disappointed. I think he could have won this race, but in the end, it's 4th after the spin and the contact with suspect Jordan Taylor. 5th place for Owen Genman. Fantastic scrap between Genman and Coppin towards the back end of that race. Coppin comes home in 6th. Chris Alcock, how important could that drive be come the end of the season? Is 7th place what he was looking for at the start of the day? No, but after being stone dead last at the end of lap 1, he recovers to 7th place. 8th place for Richard Lacey. 9th place for Ross Blackwood. Chris Hackworth, a problematic day for him. He finishes in P10. Simon Ross and Jordan Taylor 11th and 12th. James Cook then in 13th. Joshua Kraft 14th. Seb Cook 15th. Sam Bennett in 16th. Tom Wantock finishes 17th. 18th for Tim Ellis, 19th for Dean Walker, 20th for Chris Kirk, 21st for Leo Stolyarov, 22nd for Ryan Welch, 23rd Lee Carey, 24th James Browning, 25th Gus Silviera, 26th for Andy Stobart, 27th for James Perry, who had good pace, but unfortunately had a problem early in the race that put him down the back of the field, 28th for John Donnelly, 29th for Stuart Shearman, and 30th Paul Mason.
Hold him up! Do a dance. Come on.
We're here on the podium with Andy Spencer. 3rd place, really good drive. Some battles along the way that I'm guessing you enjoyed a lot. First podium, I think I'm right in saying, since Tamworth last year. Pretty pleased?
Yeah, I wasn't really expecting a podium. It's nice the first two to do whatever they did to each other. I don't know what it was, but we picked up the pieces. Bobby came past me when I was messing about with my microphone, but it was, to be honest, that was because I was playing up a little bit. But then I sorted that out, and it was okay. And then the rest of the race was fine, but they were just quicker. I was hoping I could tag along, but they were just quicker, and they didn't battle, so I couldn't stay with them. But 3rd, yeah, well happy with that.
You're getting stronger and stronger as the season goes on. 4 rounds in, many more rounds to go. What are the hopes now for the rest of the championship?
I don't know, just be consistent, really. I mean, which I have been. I've been top 10 every race. Rye House was a bit of a problem for me because of qualifying, and it took me a while to get back through. But the rest of the races in the Enduro, I've been doing all right. So top 5 in the championship was the goal at the start of the year, and I'm probably not too far away from that. So yeah, just keep knocking the door, keep improving, and hopefully get top 5.
Good stuff. Have a safe journey home, and we'll move on to our driver in 2nd place, Anthony. Hello. That was tense. That was really tense. Yeah. You were pushing your way through some fantastic moves along the way, and you nearly beat a guy who's in very good form. You must be very happy at the end of this Enduro race.
Stoked, super stoked to finish 2nd. I'm not usually up here, so you know, it's nice to be here. It's a pleasure, but the race was, yeah, epic. I mean, I qualified, I think, in 13th, swapped my car at the last moment. Luckily, I got a bit of a lucky kart, quite a good kart with a lot of power, so that stood me well in the race.
It's not all dependent on the kart.
I know, but I've got to give it a little mention. But yeah, the track is phenomenal. Amazing track, so fast, very technical, clean racing between all of us. But the best man wins again, you know.
But that's the thing. To have a fast car, you've got to be a fast driver to get the pace out of it.
Well, yeah, you need to operate the tools as such. But, you know, I think at this level, any little bit of advantage makes a big difference. So that's why I'm here, basically, because I had a little bit more of an advantage with the kart. But, yeah, glad to be here. Hopefully I'll be here again, and love the track. Can't wait to come back.
Excellent. Very humble, but a very well-deserved 2nd place here today for Anthony Kirk. Bobby. Another win. But the crucial thing is a lot of your championship rivals have had a bad round to some of them complete mares today. You must be feeling pretty confident at this stage of the season to retain your title.
I'm not going to say anything yet. It's too early, really. We can start thinking about round 8. That's where I'd start thinking all the championships are going to tie. But no, I mean, Joe and Jordan were racing hard. I was trying to catch them once I got through the pack. To be fair, I probably would have not caught up with Jordan and Joe, but unfortunately they had an incident. I don't know what happened, but racing's racing. I got to take points and run off. Anthony did a fantastic drive for me. I think he's the driver of the day of this race.
Fantastic stuff. Really seemed to me like one of the victories that you've worked hardest for in the last couple of years. That's gonna give you a lot of confidence, especially considering this is a new track.
This track's fantastic. I mean, after Rye was a challenging race because we were all so matched, and this round I wasn't expecting to come home with 1st, but obviously accidents happened. I mean, started 7th, typical Coppin, blocking, holding me up. I was saying, pointing, get out of my way, mate, I'm quicker. Then he realised, because his radio boy After a funny. It's just ridiculous. It's fun here, though. I mean, I think once something's going to go in the outtakes, me and Mike pushing me down the pit into the pit box. So I think we look like bloody jockeys trying to ride a horse. But it's just fantastic. They are loving it here. Daytona should come back here. Great work from the marshals as well, fixing my go-kart before I went out. It's just brilliant.
A very happy Bobby Trundley, and with good reason. Well done, Bobby. Another victory here in the Inter Enduro. DJ, that was just non-stop from the green flag right up to the checker. That was really, really good.
It was action all the way through. Brilliant to watch, brilliant to watch. Great battles at the front. The controversy over by Compression Corner, I have to see that one back. I don't know what happened there, and I look forward to watching that back later in the month. So
Round 5 entries, and for the rest of the season are open as well. If you want to join Bobby, Anthony and Andy on the grid for those future rounds, head over to www.daytonamax.co.uk.